Okay. So in today's class, we will be going to discuss how to generate an involute profile. So far we have discussed the construction of cycloid, epicycloid, hypocycloid, how to draw the tangent and normal to a given cycloid, epicycloid and hypocycloid curve. Now we will be discussing what is an involute and how to get the tangent and normal to a given involute. So before going to the construction part of the involute, let me just define what is an involute. An involute is a curve traced by a point on a perfectly flexible thread while unwinding from a circle or a polygon, the thread being kept tight. Now, in order to understand the concept of involute, let me give you one practical example. From that practical example, you will understood what involute is. And that practical example is, have all of you have seen a bunch of thread? Have you seen a bunch of thread? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So I am talking this type of threads. This type of thread. All of you have seen it in your home, right? You all are having it also. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if you see this bunch of thread, you take any one thread. Say suppose I take the orange color thread or the green color thread or the violet color thread. Any one color you take. Color is not the matter. Fine. Thread is the main concern. Now over which I am wrapping the thread. Over which I am wrapping the thread. On this cylindrical portion, white cylindrical portion, yes or no? On
Yes.
this white cylindrical portion, over this white cylindrical portion, I am wrapping the thread of certain length, correct? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now if you see the cross section of that cylindrical portion over which the thread has, over which you have tight, you have wounded the thread, that cross section is what? Cross section of that portion is what? Cross section of that cylindrical portion over which you have wounded certain length of thread, that cross section is what? Circle? Yes or
It's a
no?
circle.
It's a circle. See, this is a cylindrical piece of something. Over this cylindrical piece I have wrapped certain length of wire. Fine. And if I see the cross section of that cylindrical portion over which I have wrapped certain length of wire, that cross section is nothing but circle. Okay. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Now what you do is you take a certain length of thread or wire and you try to wrap this wire on the outer periphery of the circle. If you see the cross section is circle. That means what you are doing, on the outermost periphery of the circle you are winding a certain length of wire. Once it is done, then what you do, you try to unwrap the wire. Do the reverse process. Try to unwrap the wire. So as soon as you try to unwrap the wire, keeping this circle fixed, keeping the cross section of this cylindrical portion, that is circle, fixed, the locus point that you will get, if you trace those locus point will generate an involute curve. How it will generate? Now let me show you. So say suppose I have a circle. I have a circle of certain radius or some diameter. I don't know, some arbitrary radius or diameter. Now over this circle I am wrapping a certain length of wire. So how much length of wire or a thread I can wrap on the outermost periphery of circle? How much length of a wire or a thread I can wrap completely on the outermost periphery of circle?
Sir, diameter of the circle.
So 2 pi r.
2 pi r circumferential length. I know that the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r. So if I have a thread or a wire whose length is exactly equal to 2 pi r, that much length only I can wrap completely on the outer periphery of circle. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This is the circumference of the circle, and this is the length of the thread or the wire which I want to wrap on the outermost periphery of a circle. So if I want to wrap the complete length of wire, then my length of wire should be equal to the circumferential length, that is 2 pi r or pi d, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So once you wrap the entire length of wire on the outermost periphery of circle, can you tell me where will the end point of the wire will lie? Say suppose this is that wire or thread whose length is equal to 2 pi r. End A is one end of the thread, end B is other end of the thread. Say you start winding from end A till end B. So can you predict the position of point B on the circle? Can you predict the position of point B on the circle? Say suppose this is point A of my thread. Point A of my thread. Now if I try to wrap this AB portion or AB length AB wire on the outermost periphery of the circle like this, if I try to wrap, then point B will also be the same point after 2 pi r distance. When the wire has traveled 2 pi r distance, point B will be the same point where point A lies. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Say suppose I have a circle. On this circle I want to wrap a thread whose length is exactly equal to the circumferential length, that is 2 pi r, equal to 2 pi r, correct? So say I have taken this point of the circle. From this point I am starting to wrap the thread whose length is 2 pi r. That means I am starting from end A and I should end up at end B. So when you try to wrap completely, where will your end B will lie? Exactly at point A. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what you have done, you have fully wrapped the circumferential length of the thread. Once you have wrapped, say suppose this is the center point of the circle and point P is the one of the end point of the thread. Point P is one of the end point of the thread. Now what is the definition of involute? An involute is a curve traced by a point on a perfectly flexible thread while unwinding from a circle or a polygon, thread being kept tight. Now what you do, if you want to get an involute, you try to unwound the thread from the circle without disturbing the circle. Circle is fixed, circle is not moving anywhere, neither circle is rotating in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Keeping the circle fixed, now you try to unwrap or unwind the wire. If you try to unwind, say after some time you have unwrapped certain length of wire, where will the point P will lie? Somewhat over here. Yes or no? After unwrapping,
Yes, sir.
say the new point, locus point is your P1 point. Again, after some time, you try to unwrap again certain length of wire from the circumference of the circle. Where will the point P will lie? Somewhat over here with the increased radius, yes or no? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Again, after some time, you try to unwrap again certain length of wire. Where will the end point of the wire will lie? Say somewhat over here, P3. Again, after some time, you try to wrap again that you try to unwrap again that wire. Where will the end point of the wire will lie? Somewhat over here. Similarly, if you do this process till you fully unwrap the wire or the thread from the circle, can you predict the final end point of your thread, where it will lie?
Sir, on P.
On P. You are unwinding it, you are unwrapping it, you are not wrapping it. If you wrap it, then the end point of the thread will be exactly at point P, but while unwrapping it, your final end point of the wire will be somewhat over here. Say this point
Yes,
is P
sir.
dash, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And P to P dash is how much? P to P dash is your the thread, the original thread which you are wrapping it and unwrapping it from a circle, and its length will be equal to how much? Its length will be equal to 2 pi r, yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if you do this process, see, you are getting different locus end point of the thread. One end point is P, another end point is P1, another end point is P2, and so on till P dash. So if you try to join all these locus points, you will get a curve somewhat like this. Join P to P1, then P1 to P2, then P2 to P3, P3 to P4, P4 to P5. You will get a curve somewhat like this. And this curve is known as your involute profile. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clear.
So this is how involute profile is generated. You can generate an involute profile from a circle. You can generate an involute profile from a polygon. But in your syllabus, involute of a circle is there. Involute of a polygon is not there, so that's why we are not discussing it. You can generate involute either from a circle or from a polygon. And by polygon, I mean you can generate the involute profile from pentagon, from hexagon, and so on. So this is how the involute profile is generated. Is the concept clear to you? If it is clear to you, then we will see the construction part of the involute profile.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Shubham Roy is writing in the starting point. Shubham Roy, whatever you have written, is that doubt clear to you? Please write in the chat box, because you have written 6 minutes before. Now I am okay. Shubham Roy is writing yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Okay. Now there are 3 cases in order to get involute of a circle. Those 3 cases are: length of the thread can be equal to circumferential length of the circle, that is 2 pi r. Length of the thread can be less than the circumferential length, and length of the wire which you are wrapping and unwrapping it can be greater than the circumferential length. 3 cases are there. Case number 1, when you exactly wrap and unwrap the length of thread over the circumference of circle. In that case, length of the thread will be equal to circumferential length 2 pi r. Second case is some portion of the thread is unwrapped. You cannot wrap it more. Some portion of the thread is unwrapped on the circumference of the circle. That means what? Your length of the thread which you are wrapping it, that is less than the circumferential length of the circle. And the third case is you have a thread, you have wrapped a thread, but some portion of the thread is left to wrapped. That means length of the thread which you are wrapping it on a circle, that length is more than the circumferential length of the circle. So for all these three cases, we need to generate involute profile. Is it clear, these three cases?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us discuss one by one all the three cases. I will first discuss the first case, that is L is equal to 2 pi r. But remember, in the question, no one will tell you that draw the involute of a circle in which the thread length is exactly equal to the circumferential length. No. Question will be how? Question will be in this manner. Draw a curve in such a way that there is a thread, that thread you are wrapping it completely on a circle, fine, and when you try to unwrap that thread from a circle, when you join all the locus points, you will get one curve. Name the curve and draw that curve. Then from that definition, you have to understand that they are asking from you to draw involute. Or they may tell you that they may give you, say, the length of the thread which is unwrapped on the circle is how much? 150 millimeter. But the radius of the circle is, say, 175 mm. Then you need to calculate the circumferential length. It will be 2 into pi into 175. Say suppose the value after multiplying, say suppose the value is x. If this x mm is greater than the length of the thread, that means which portion they are asking from you? They are asking this portion. That means circumferential length is greater than the length of the thread. How to draw that involute profile? But say the x millimeter is less than the length of the thread, that means which condition they are asking you to draw you the involute? They are asking you the third condition, because in the third condition the L is more and 2 pi r is less. So accordingly you have to understand that which condition involute they are asking you to draw. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Clear. Yes.
Okay. So let us take the first case. Draw the involute of a circle. String length is equal to the circumference of the circle. That means in this problem, which case I am talking about?
First case, L is equal to 2 pi r.
First case, that is the length of the thread or the wire is equal to circumferential length, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we got the condition, that for which condition we need to draw the involute, and the condition is, let me write over here, the condition is L is equal to 2 pi r. And in order to draw an involute, what I need a circle of certain radius or of certain diameter and the length of the thread. Since in this case length of the thread is equal to 2 pi r, so if I know the radius of the circle, I can easily find out the length of the thread. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so take any arbitrary radius of a circle. Okay, take any arbitrary radius of the circle. So with the help of that radius and with the help of your compass, first step is you generate the circle first. Clear? Any doubt?
Yes. No, sir.
Then what you need to do? Locate the center point of the circle. Say suppose this is the center point of the circle, and then mark the radius of the circle. Say this point is point P. CP is the radius of the circle, correct? For which
Yes.
case I am drawing involute? For this case, L is equal to 2 pi r. So when L is equal to 2 pi r, the starting locus point of your involute is nothing but exactly point P. Yes or no? Say suppose the length, this is the thread length which I want to wrap on this circle, okay, and this length is equal to 2 pi r. Then either this point or this point, any one of the point, is this the point P? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because for this case, when I try to wrap the circle, wrap the wire completely, or I try to unwrap the wire completely, so when I try to wrap the wire completely, both the two end point number 1 and point number 2 of the thread will lie exactly at one common point. Say that common point is point P, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you have unwrapped the entire thread length. So once you have unwrapped the entire thread length, then this P will become 1 and 2 will be somewhere else. Yes or no? Point 2 of the thread will be somewhere else, correct?
Yes, sir.
Where it will be? When you have completely unwrapped it, where will the point 2 will lie?
So at a distance of 2 pi r from point 2.
At a distance of 2 pi r from point P. That means from point P, I need to draw an infinitely long tangent line. On that infinitely long tangent line, I will mark 2 pi r length by the help of compass, and then that point will be my second and the last ending point of my thread. Yes or no? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes.
So from point P, what you do, you draw an infinitely long tangent line. You don't know the length, just draw an infinitely long tangent line. And by tangent line, I mean this angle should be 90 degree. This angle should be 90 degree. Then on this infinitely long tangent line, once you know the value of r, multiply it with 2 pi, you will get the value of L. Say L is 145 mm. Say L is 145 mm. That means 14.5 centimeter. You will take that much distance in your compass. By the help of scale, you will place one leg of your compass at point P, and on this infinitely long tangent line you will cut an arc of length 145 mm. Say that arc length point is this point. So this point is your point number 2 of the given thread 1 2, and this point P will be your point number 1. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And the length of the thread from 1 to 2 is how much? It is 2 pi r. 2 pi r is equal to L. That means this is the starting locus point of your involute, and this is the ending locus point of your involute. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that means my involute will start from point 1, will end at point 2, or will start from point 2 and will end at point 1, which is my point P. So that means I will get a curve somewhat like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So, but you have only got the two extreme locus point. One is the starting locus point and one is the ending locus point. In order to get the intermediate locus point of the involute, what you need to do? If you remember, when we were discussing the cycloid case, epicycloid case and hypocycloid case, every time we were dividing our circle into minimum 8 number of equal parts to get 8 different locus points. Here also, in order to get total, so far we have got 2 locus points, we need 6 more locus points, so 6 plus 2 is 8 including these two. So again here also we need to divide our given circle into minimum 8 number of local points. You can do it more also, but minimum you have to divide your given circle into 8 equal parts. Clear?
Yes, sir.
And you know how to divide a given circle into 8 equal parts. Already I have told you in the epicycloid case as well as in the cycloid and hypocycloid case. So just divide your given circle into 8 number of equal parts. Once it is done, then you mark the points, dividing points on the circle. Either you can mark in clockwise manner or you can mark in anti-clockwise manner. There is no rule. So see here I have marked the points on the circle in anti-clockwise manner as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next is from point 8, which is my first locus point of my involute. What I will do, I have to draw an infinitely long tangent line, and on that tangent line I need to mark a distance L. What is L? L is the length of the thread, and here L will be equal to 2 pi r, because we are solving, or we want to generate the involute profile for when the string length is equal to the circumference of the circle. So when we will multiply 2 pi with r, whatever value we will get, that is L, and that L I will mark on this infinitely long tangent line by the help of compass. So say this point P is the end locus point of your involute, or the end point of your string, or the wire, or the thread. Correct?
Yes, sir.
AP is how much? AP is nothing but the length of the thread which you are wrapping and unwrapping it, and that is equal to pi d or 2 pi r. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what you need to do in order to get, see, so far we have got two locus points. One locus point is this one and another locus point is this one. We need 6 more locus points. So 6 plus 2 in altogether 8. In order to get all the different so that means here we will be getting 8 locus points including point A and point P. So if you want to generate those 8 different locus points of involute, you need to divide the given length of line, which is equal to 2 pi r, again into 8 number of equal parts. Why? Because you have divided your circle into 8 number of equal parts. So that's why you need to divide the given string length, which is equal to the circumferential length 2 pi r or pi d, again into 8 number of equal parts. How you will do? How you will do that? By set square method. By set square method, By the help of set square method, we can divide any given line into equal number of parts. So now my line is, the end point of my line is A and P. So from the starting end point, what I need to do? I need to draw an infinitely long acute angle inclined line, and then on this acute angle inclined line, I need to cut how many equal arc? 8 equal arc, because I need to divide the given line into 8 number of equal points. So on this inclined line, cut 8 equal arc. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then what is the process? Join the last arc point with the end point of the line. That is, with P I will join, and then by the help of set square we will draw parallel lines. We will draw parallel lines. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then you can see that these parallel lines are intersecting the initial tangent line over here, 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 and the last end point is P. Now we need to name all these arc points. Since we have named the circle as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so all these arc points also we will name it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So see, by the help of set square method, we have divided the given string length, whose length is equal to circumference of the circle, that is 2 pi r, into 8 number of equal parts. Now, what is the definition of involute? You try to wrap and unwrap a certain length of wire from the circle. So we got, so far we have got this locus point, and we have got this locus points. We need remaining locus points. Say suppose if I consider the remaining locus points, how you will get? Remaining locus points you will get if you draw tangent line passing through point 1 of the circle like this, tangent line passing through point 2 of the circle, tangent line passing through point 3, through point 4, through point 5, point 6, point 7, point 8, no need to draw, already we have drawn the tangent line. Why we are drawing the tangent line passing through the arc point of the circle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Because on these infinitely long tangent line, remaining locus point of the involute will lie. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Already we have got the first locus point, that is P. Next, I need to get the second locus point of my involute, and that second locus point I will get on the tangent line passing through 1, that is on this line. How you will get? I will take my compass and I will measure 1 P length from this 1 to this P. This much length I will measure in my compass. I will place my compass at point 1, and on this tangent line I will cut an arc. So this point will be your second locus point of your involute P1. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, you need to get the third locus point of your involute, and that third locus point you will get on the tangent line passing through point 2. How you will get it? Then you need to measure this distance 2 to P. Measure this distance in your compass. Place your compass at point 2, and on this tangent line, cut an arc. Say that arc point is over here. Locus point P2 of the involute. Similarly, for getting the next locus point, I know the next locus point I will get on the tangent line passing through point 3 of the circle. For that, what I need to do? I need to measure 3 2p. This much length I need to measure in my compass. I will place my compass at point 3, and on the tangent line that is passing through point 3, I will cut an arc. That arc point represent the fourth locus point of your involute, denoted by symbol P3. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, if you do this process till this point, till point 8, if you do this process till point 8, can you tell me where will the final locus point of the involute will lie? If you carry out this process till point 8, can you tell me where will the locus point P of the involute will lie?
So that the final P, like at the end of 2 pi r from point
That means
8.
this point, you are telling about this point.
Yes, sir. I mean, if we join everything, then it will be
No, how come? Every time what we are doing, say suppose I need to get the next locus point. Next locus point I will get on the tangent line passing through 4. So what will be the distance? Distance will be 4 2p. This much distance you will take in your compass. You will place your compass at point 4 and you will cut an arc. This will be your next locus point of your involute, that is P4. Similarly, the last locus point of my involute, where I will get on the tangent line passing through this point, and this is the tangent line passing through this point. Yes or no?
yes, sir.
Correct. So where
Yes.
will be that point will lie? Exactly that point where it will lie. Exactly that last locus point where it will lie on the tangent line passing through point 8.
Sir, at 8, sir.
At
8.
which 8? Let me
The
erase
8 on the
this thing.
circle.
Which 8?
Eight.
That the 8 which is written on the circumference of the circle, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. Why? Because for that case, your compass length will be this length only, and
Yes,
this
sir.
length is nothing but a point. Correct?
Yes. Sir. Yes,
And if
sir.
you place your compass at this point, the arc which you will cut, that will be point 8 itself. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So you got the last locus point of your involute, P8. So if you join all these locus points, you will get the involute of a circle. Fine. So just I am showing you the process. See it from point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the circle. Draw the infinitely long tangent line, and then you need to mark the locus points. So locus point. So the next locus point will be on the tangent line passing through point 1 of the circle, and what will be where will the point will lie? For that I need to take my compass and I need to measure this 1p, and this much length I will place at this point 1 and I will cut an arc. So this will be your next locus point of your involute. Similarly, for point 2, where will I get the next locus point? I will get the locus point exactly on the tangent line passing through point 2. For that, how much distance I need to measure in my compass? I need to measure distance 2 to P. This much distance I will measure in my compass. I will place my compass at point 2, and on this infinitely long tangent line I will cut an arc 2p. So this is your arc point. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, 3 2p, 4 2p, 5 2p, 6 2p, 7 to P, and then last is 8 to P. If you see 8 to P, 8 to P is a point itself, and if 8 to P is a point, fine, your last locus point will lie on this point 8 of the circle, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then at last what you will do, just join all these locus points freely. Once you join all these locus points freely, you will get a curve like this, and this curve is known as involute of a circle. Any doubt so far?
Sir, we have to do similar if it is L less than pi d and L greater than pi
Please
d.
be loud. Please be loud. I cannot hear
Sir,
your
we have to
voice.
do Sir, we have to use a similar way if it is L is less than pi d and L is greater than pi d.
Yes, similar way, but slight difference is there in the diagram of involute. Similar way, but slight difference is there in the diagram of involute. That you will only tell me where is that difference. When I will explain that those two cases, then you will only tell me that where is that difference. So is this one clear? When length of the thread is equal to circumferential length of the circle, how to get the involute profile? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Others please respond.
Yes, sir, clear.
Okay. Now let us take the second case. Second case is when string length is more than pi d case. Everything will be same, but slight change is there in the diagram. What is that change? So what is the first step? First step is we need to draw a circle with a given radius. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct? So let us
Yes,
draw
sir.
the circle first. So this is the circle. Then mark the center point of the circle. Oh, so okay, let me show you in the slide. So this is the circle. Then mark the center point of the circle. So this is the center point of the circle C. Then draw the radius of the circle. So this is the radius of the circle CP. Okay. Now the case is string length is more than the circumference of the circle. That means the wire which we are going to wrap and unwrap is somewhat more in somewhat more in length than the circumference of the circle. That is this case. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So say suppose this is 0.1 and this is 0.2. 1,2 is what? 1,2 is the length of the thread which you want to wrap it on the circle. This is the length of the wire or the thread. Now from point P, what I need to do? I need to draw an infinitely long horizontal tangent line. Yes or no? Like this. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And on this tangent line, my length of the wire will lie. Yes or no? On this tangent line, my length of the wire will lie because I am wrapping the wire like this. This is the wire. Now this wire I am wrapping over circle like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That means on this initial tangent line, my length of the wire will lie somewhere. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So say suppose the length of the wire or the thread is 165 mm. That means 16.5 centimeter. Take your compass, measure 16.5 centimeter with the help of your scale. Place your compass at point B and on this infinitely long tangent line cut an arc. Say this point. What is this point? This point is P dash. P dash is the length of the wire L. Correct?
Yes, sir.
On the same horizontal tangent line, the circumferential length of the circle will also lie. Yes or no?
So, can you repeat the question?
On the same tangent line, the circumferential length of the circle will also lie.
Yes, sir.
Because if you try to wrap this P dash length of wire over the circle, some portion will be left to unwrap. You cannot wrap P dash completely. Why? Because length of the wire is more than the circumference of the circle. So some portion will be left. How much portion is left? Say this is point 1. 1 P dash portion is left. Yes or no? Say suppose 1 P dash portion is left to wrap or unwrap. Clear?
Yes, sir.
That means P1 or 1P is nothing but the circumferential length of my wire. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Till point 1, from point P till point 1, I can wrap the length of the wire completely. How much portion wrapping is left? 1 P dash portion is left. That means P1 is my circumferential length of the circle. Yes or no? That means P1 is nothing but the distance is 2 pi r. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So in the problem, radius or the diameter of the circle will given to you. With the help of radius, you can calculate how much is 2 pi r. Say suppose 2 pi r, circumferential length of the circle, 2 pi r is how much? Say 2 pi r is 145 mm. That means 14.5 centimeter. You will measure this much length in your compass by the help of scale. Place one leg of your compass at point P and on this initial tangent line cut an arc, and that arc point will be your point number 1. So P21 is your circumferential length, that is 2 pi r. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now differentiate the same case with the last case. Can you differentiate something? Differentiate the same case with the last case that we have solved just now. What is the difference? In the last case, point P dash and 1 was the same point. Why? Because L was equal to 2 pi r. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If you see the last case, point P dash and 1 is the same point. Why? Because length is equal to 2 pi r. But in this case, length of the wire which you want to wrap is more in length than the circumferential length. So that particular point is not the same. Circumferential length is somewhat behind the actual length of the thread which you want to wrap. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, your involute will start from which point? From point 1 or from point P dash? Because the end locus point of involute I don't know, but I know one of the end locus point of my involute, whether it will start from point 1 or it will start from point P dash. When you try to wrap it, from which point your involute will start?
One.
From point 1. How come from point 1? You have a length of wire which is more than the circumferential length. You will start from point P dash. You will try to wrap it completely, and when the wrapping is over, you will find that some length is left. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You don't do like this, no. Say suppose you take a bunch of thread that you take, and that thread and needle, fine, you take a bunch of thread, and what you do, you try to wrap that thread by keeping some extra length. Do you do like that? You don't do like that. You take one end point of the thread and you try to wrap it over that circular log. Yes or no? And
Yes,
then
sir.
after some time you find that some portion of, once you have wrapped completely one revolution of that particular thread, you find that some portion of the thread is unwrapped, it is left. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So my involute then will start from which point? From point 1 or from point P dash? From which point the involute will start? From point 1 or from point P dash?
Sir, I think point P dash.
Point P dash. But in the last case, 1 and P dash was same. In this case, length of the line is somewhat extra. How much extra length which you cannot wrap? 1 P dash. 1 P dash is that extra length which you cannot wrap. But while wrapping it, you will take one end point of the thread and you start wrapping it over the circle. So your involute will start from point P dash, not from point 1. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So next step is what? Next step is you need to divide the circle into 8 number of equal parts. Divide it. After dividing it, you need to name those points. Say those points are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is point 8. Okay. Then next is what? In order to get different locus points of involute, you need to divide certain length of the line into 8 number of equal parts by set square method. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So which line will I divide by set square method into 8 number of equal part? Will I divide P1 line or P dash line into 8 number of equal parts? Because in this case, on the same tangent line, your circumferential length 2 pi r is also lying, that is P1, and your length of the thread is also lying, that is P dash. But in the last case, 1 and P dash was the same point. In this case, both the 2 points are at some distance. So tell me, which line you will divide by set square method into 8 number of equal parts? The circumferential length line P21 or the length of the thread P2 dash? Shubham
So I
is
think P to P
writing,
dash.
Shubham Roy is writing P1 line. Okay, what others are saying?
So P to P dash.
P2 dash you will divide into 8 number of equal parts. Why? Why not P1? The correct answer is always you will divide the circumferential horizontal length into 8 number of equal parts to get 8 different locus points of involute. Why? Because when according to the definition of involute, when you will get an involute, you are getting an involute when you are wrapping a certain length of wire on the circumference of the circle. or you are unwrapping a certain length of wire on the circumference of circle. Maximum how much length you can wrap or unwrap on the circumference of circle? Every time you can wrap and unwrap 2 pi r length, not more than 2 pi r, neither less than 2 pi r. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that means I need to divide every time the circumferential length into 8 number of equal parts by set square method. Now are you finding the difference that we have done in the last case and what we are doing in this case?
Yes, sir.
So in this case we will divide this P1 line, which is my circumferential length line, into 8 number of equal parts by set square method. And by set square method, I know if I want to divide the given line into 8 number of equal parts, this is the starting point of the line, this is the ending point of the line. From the starting point I will draw an infinitely long acute angle inclined line. On this acute angle inclined line I will cut 8 different arc points, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and the last arc point I need to join with point 1 by the help of scale. Then by taking the two set squares I will draw parallel lines like this. These parallel lines intersect the initial tangent line at this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, and so on. And then we will name these points as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Then we will find that this point will be your point number 8. Clear?
Yes, sir.
In the last case, this point 8 and this point P dash was the same point. In this case, point 8 and point P dash is not the same point. This is the length of line. This is the length of line. And this is the circumferential length which you are wrapping it or unwrapping it. How much portion is unwrapped? 1p portion is unwrapped. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me show you all these steps in the PPT and then we will proceed for the figure. Done? Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
So far we have got only one locus point of involute, that is point P. We need to get 7 more locus point of involute. How we will get? How we will get those 7 locus points? How we will get? Just now I have shown you how we will get those 7 locus points.
Sir, now we have to draw the tangent from 1, 2 and 3.
Now we have to draw the tangent from point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 present in the circle. So draw infinitely long tangent line from point 1, from point 2, from point 3. You don't know the length of the tangent line, just draw an infinitely long tangent line from point 4, from point 5, point 6, point 7, from point 8. No need to draw, already we have drawn the initial tangent line, correct?
Yes,
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we got the first locus point of involute, that is this point. we need to get the second locus point of involute, which is point P1, and where I will get on the tangent line passing through point 1. So how I will get that point P1? How I will get that point P1?
So we measure the distance from point 1 on the main tangent line to P, and then we
That
cut an arc
means
on.
this length you are telling we will measure in my compass 1 to P, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, you will measure this much length in your compass. Place your compass at point 1 and on this tangent line cut an arc. This will be your second locus point of your involute. Do not take the distance as 1 to 8. If you take the distance 1 to 8, you are solving the first case that we have solved just now. Yes or no? Because in the first case, point 8, this point 8 and this point P was coinciding. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in order to get the next locus point, that is P2, which will lie on the tangent line 2, how I will get it?
So the same way you measure distance on your compass from 2 to P,
2
and
to
then you
P.
cut an
That
arc.
means I will take my compass and I will measure this distance from 2 to P. This much
P.
distance I will measure in my compass. I will place my compass at point 2 and on the tangent line passing through point 2 I will cut an arc, and that point will be the next locus point of my involute, that is P2. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, the next locus point I will get on the tangent line passing through point 3. So for that I need to take distance in my compass. That distance will be 3 to P. This much distance I will take in my compass. Yes or no? And this distance I will, and this length I will place at point 3, and on this tangent line I will cut an arc of length 3 to P. I will get the next locus point of my involute P3. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So similarly, for the next locus point will be 4P, 5P, 6P, 7P. Now the last point left, that is point P8, it will be 8P. So what we will do, we will take my compass, we will measure this much length 8P in my compass. I will place my compass at point 8, and on the tangent line passing through point 8, this is the tangent line passing through point 8, I will cut an arc of length how much? 8P. This is, say this is that 8P. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
This point is the last locus point of your involute P8. Now ultimately what you do, you join freely all these locus points. That means join P2 P1, then join P1 to P2, P2 to P3, P3 to P4, P4 to P5, P6, P7, P8. Do not stop over here, because you are getting an involute when you are wrapping and unwrapping certain length of wire from a circle. So just extend it to circle. See the change in the diagram of involute. So this will be the final involute of the case when L is greater than 2 pi r or pi d. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
What about others? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now can you guess the difference between the first case and this case? Tell me, in the first case, my curve will start from which point? In the same diagram you tell me, if I would have solved the case for L is equal to pi d, my curve will start from which point? If I am solving for the first case L is equal to 2 pi r or pi d, the curve will start from which point? Point P, that is point P or this point 8. From which point my curve will start?
So in which case? This case.
Previous case, L is equal to 2 pi r case. In the same diagram you tell
No, from
me,
P.
if we
From
would
P.
have solved this case, L is equal to 2 pi r, the starting locus point of the curve will be point P or point 8.
So point P.
Point
P.
P.
Yes, sir.
But point P is ahead of point 8.
Sir, point 8, sir.
Point 8. If you are solving the first case, L is equal to 2 pi r, point P will shift to point 8. Because whatever length of the thread you are having, exactly the same length you are wrapping it on the circle. Yes or no? Point P will shift to point 8. Point 8 and point P will be the same point. So your curve will start from this point, not from this point. Yes or no? Correct? My curve will start from this point. Yes or no?
So you asked in the previous case, right? Not in this case.
Yes, previous case L is equal to 2 pi r. If L is equal to 2 pi r, this is the length of the line. Length of the line will be now this line. This will be the length of the line. Yes or no?
Yes, so that's point P only, right? Like in the previous.
Point P will shift. In this case, point P is ahead of circumferential length. If we are solving the first case, point P will shift towards left direction, and this will be your point P, which is your point 8 right now. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So my curve will start from this point, not from this
Yes.
point. Say suppose
Yes,
I
sir.
tell you that in the same diagram you compare. How you will compare? Yes or no? My curve will
Yes,
start from
sir.
this point. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir.
And where it will end? Tell me the
In
ending
the
point in
previous
the
case.
first case.
At point 8, sir. Like on the
Point
circle.
8 of the circle, correct?
Yes, sir.
That means like this. Like this.
Yes, sir.
But for this case, some portion is ahead, some portion of the wire is left to unwound or unwrap. How much portion is left? 8p portion is left. In circle, how much portion is left? This much portion is left. So for the first case, diagram of involute is like this. For the second case, diagram of the involute will be like this. Now you understood the difference?
Yes, sir.
Others, please respond. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the third and the last case, when L is lesser than 2 pi r. Can you tell me now? Can you predict the shape for L is less than 2 pi r? Okay, let me erase all these things, then you tell me. I hope you will be able to now predict. For the third case, when length of the thread is less than the circumferential length, what will be the change in the diagram? First of all, tell me the location of point P and point 8 in the third case. For the third case, where will point P lie and where will the point 8 lie?
Point P will be in the 8th position and 8th will be in the P position.
Yes. In the third case, just reverse it. P will become point 8 and point 8 will become P. That means for the third case, P comes over here and 8 goes over here. So this will be the length of the line. or the wire which you are wrapping on the circumference of the circle, and this length is the circumferential length of the circle. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So how much portion of the length of thread is unwrapped? This length, 8p length. If I move along negative x direction, this 8p length is unwrapped or is behind. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
From which point my involute will start? From point 8 or from point P? From which point the involute will start? From point 8 or from point P?
From point P.
From point P the involute will be starting. Okay, I will start the involute from point P, and where it will end, the last locus point of the involute, where it will end.
So just before the 8th point.
That means from point 8 you need to extend the tangent line in left direction. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And then you need to mark this much length in your compass, 8p length in your compass. You will mark, you will place your compass at point 8, and on the left hand side you will cut an arc. This point is nothing but 8p, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this will be the last locus point of your involute, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So your involute will be like this, and just join it with the circle. See the difference? How much portion is unwrapped or is left behind? This portion in the circle is left behind. That means for the first case, this is the diagram of involute. For the second case, this is the diagram of involute. For the third case, this is the diagram of involute. Are you finding the difference?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Others, please respond. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me quickly show you the construction of the third case. When string length is less than 2 pi r or pi d. First of all, draw the circle, then divide the circle into 8 number of equal parts, then draw that initial tangent line. Fine. First mark the length of the thread on the initial tangent line. This is the length of the thread on the initial tangent line. Then mark the circumferential length on the initial tangent line. This is the circumferential length on the initial tangent line. Since we are solving for the case L is less than 2 pi r, L is less than 2 pi r, that means the length of the thread will be less, and will be less than the circumferential length. So from 8 to P is the length of the thread, from 8 to this point is the circumferential length. Say this point is 8 dash. How much portion of the wire is left to unwrap? This 8 dash P portion is left to unwrap. So once you have divided the given circle into 8 number of equal parts, you need to divide the initial tangent line also into 8 number of equal parts by set square method to get 8 different locus points of involute. So which line you will divide into 8 number of equal parts by set square method? circumferential length line or that original length of the wire line? Which length line you will divide into 8 number of equal part? 8 to P or 8 to say 8 dash? Which line you will divide by set square method into 8 number of equal parts?
Sir, A to P.
Again you are missing, again you are doing it wrong. We are getting involute from a circle. Maximum length you can wrap or unwrap from a circle is 2 pi r length. So which line you will divide into 8 number of equal parts by set square method? 8 dash line, not 8p line. 8p is the length of the wire. 8 dash is the circumferential length. You can completely wrap 8 dash, but you cannot wrap 8 dash p because 8 dash p is behind. You have wrapped it, you don't know where is 8 dash p. Once you mark point P, then while wrapping it, you know that yes, 1 minute before already I have wrapped 8 dash P. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So I will divide always the circumferential length line into 8 number of equal parts to get 8 different locus points of involute. So just divide it into 8 number of equal parts. Okay, divide it into 8 number of equal parts and then name those dividing points as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How much portion you have left 1 minute before? You have wrapped 1 minute before. This much portion already you have wrapped 1 minute before. You don't know. That is 8p length. Okay. From which point my curve will start? My curve will start from point P, not from point 8. Okay. And in order to draw the different locus points of involute, what I need to do now? I need to draw infinitely long tangent line from all the dividing points present in the circle. These are those tangent lines. And then we need to mark the locus points. Already we have got the first locus point P. I need to get the next locus point P1. That P1 I will get on the tangent line passing through point 1 of the circle. How we will get? We need to measure some length in my compass. How much length we will measure? We will measure 1p length in my compass. And then that length I will place at point 1 and on that tangent line I will cut an arc of length 1p. This will be your second locus point of your involute. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, for getting the next locus point of your involute, I know that the next locus point will lie on the tangent line passing through point 2 of the circle. So in order to get that locus point, how much distance I will measure in my compass? I will measure this distance 2 to P. This much length I will measure in my compass. I will place my compass at point 2 and on this the tangent line passing through point 2 I will cut an arc. That point will be my second locus point of my the third locus point of my involute. Similarly 3 2p, 4 2p, 5 2p, 6 2p, 7 2p. Now next is 8 2p. You see 8 2p is behind. 8 2p is behind. P is after point 8. Point P is after point 8 and point P is behind point 8. So in order to mark this distance 8p, what you need to do? You need to extend this initial tangent line in the left direction. Then you measure this length in your compass 8p. Place your compass at point 8 and on this tangent line which you have extended in the left direction, cut an arc of length equal to 8p. So that point is somewhat over here. This point is your point P8, and then freely join point P to P1, P1 to P2, P2 to P3, P3 to P4, P4 to P5, P5 to P6, P6 to P7, and P7 to P8. So and then extend, so just join it. This will be the shape of your involute, and then extend it to circle. So how much portion you have wrapped it 1 minute before that you don't know right now is this much distance. This much distance in the circle. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these are the three cases of involute. When length of the wire is equal to circumferential length, how to get the involute profile? When length of the wire is greater than the circumferential length, how to get the involute profile? And lastly, when length of the wire is less than the circumferential length, how to get the involute profile? Any doubt in these three cases?
Clear, sir.
And regarding the use of pencil, only the final involute you need to draw by HB pencil, that is this involute. In all the three cases, only the final involute you need to draw by HB pencil. In order to draw the involute, you are doing many internal constructions. For those constructions, you need to use H and 2H pencil. Clear the use of pencils?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the last part that is left in this involute is how to draw a tangent and normal to a given involute curve. For all the three cases, procedure of drawing tangent and normal is same. So I am showing to you for one case. For the remaining two cases you can try. For all the three cases, procedure is same. So let me show you the tangent and normal of involute. Yes. So far what I know, I know how to draw an involute of a circle for all the three cases. Here I am showing you the method of drawing tangent and normal for the first case, when length of the thread is equal to the circumferential length. For the remaining two cases also the same method will be applicable. Okay. So the first step is, first of all you generate the involute curve. So we have generated the involute curve. Now we need to draw a tangent and normal to this curve. So let us choose any point on the periphery of the curve and then name that point. Say that point is point Q. If no information is given in the problem regarding the choosing of the point Q from where your tangent and normal will pass, you are free to choose any point, but that point should be on the circumference of the circle. You can take this point Q over here also, you can take the point Q over here also, you can take the point Q over here also, you can take the point Q over here also. It's your wish. But if yes, they have told you that take this point Q from this horizontal tangent line at a distance of say 50 mm, say suppose this is 50 mm, then this will be your point Q. Then you need to choose this point as point Q. You cannot choose this as point Q, this as point Q, or this as point Q. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. So we have arbitrarily chosen one point on the periphery of the curve. From this point, the tangent and normal of the curve will pass. So the procedure is join this point Q with the center point C of the circle. That means you need to join CQ by with the help of you join CQ by the help of your scale. Clear? Any doubt so far?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Then what you do, you bisect the line CQ. You know how to bisect a given line. So just bisect the given line CQ. Bisection of line CQ, what will give you? It will give you the midpoint of the line CQ. Say the midpoint lies somewhat over here. Okay? Then from this midpoint, you take your compass and you measure either, say this midpoint is M. Either you measure MQ length in your compass or you measure CM length in your compass. Both the length will be same. Keep your one leg of your compass at point M and radius equal to either MQ or CM. Just draw a semicircle like this. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Others please respond. Is it clear? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you have done this process, let me show you in the PPT. Yes. Then what you do, you find the intersection point of the semicircle and the circle. Which one is that point? Which one is the intersection point of circle and semicircle? This point? Yes or no? This point is the intersection point of circle and semicircle.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Correct? Name this point. Say this point is point N. Then what you do? Join NQ by the help of scale. Join NQ by the help of scale. This NQ is known as normal to the given involute curve through point Q. This NQ is known as normal to the given involute curve through point Q. And if you want to draw a tangent, you know that normal and tangent are perpendicular to each other. So what you do, you take your 360 degree protector, align your protector with NQ line, place your protector at point Q, and from point Q draw a 90 degree line. This 90 degree blue color line is your tangent to the given involute curve passing through point Q. This is the process of drawing tangent and normal to the given involute curve. Any doubt?
Clear, sir.
Others please respond. Is it clear? Any doubt in this tangent and normal part?
No, sir.
Okay. And regarding the use of pencil, the final involute plus normal plus tangent will be drawn with HB pencil. That means this one you need to draw by HB pencil. This normal you need to draw by HB pencil, and this tangent you need to draw by HB pencil. Remaining all other construction, here also you can see that in order to draw tangent and normal you have done some construction. Those constructions you have to do by H and 2H pencil. So this is the overall scenario of involute. Any doubt in this involute profile?
No doubt, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So with this I end today's lecture over here. Okay, and